What up? ¿Qué pasa, mi gente? Saludos. I am Yessi Rodriguez. Another amazing episode of Hoy en Dia TV on this lovely Halloween. Woo. I would forget my co-host, Manny Morales. Come on on. Manny, ¿cómo tú estás?
Bendiciones, mi gente, ¿cómo estamos? I'm good. How are you today?
I am great. Can't complain. Blessed. And this is fun to me because we get to
Yeah,
do makeup and painting and fun. You did a good job with yours.
yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
And those contact lenses are from where? Divine
Yeah,
Eye.
Divine Eyes, they fit perfect. Like, they are awesome. I love them. I
That is
definitely love them.
amazing.
I actually have to go to the store after this, so I'm gonna wear them. I
You
go to,
should.
I'm not gonna take them out. So,
You should.
how's everybody doing? I know most of y'all are out trick or treating, but we're here with y'all if y'all want to hear. So, what's been up with you? Yes, how's everything
Like
going?
you know what? Everything is going good. Busy. I feel like life is just going by so fast. It's like
Right.
one thing after another. Like and God is preparing me for something a lot bigger, and I feel it. And it's like I got to get used to the pace. Like but you know what? I'm not going to complain because it's a blessing. We're here. We're alive. And we're another amazing episode of Oyendi, episode 36, Halloween
Yeah.
special.
Edition, Halloween edition. Yes, I feel you on that. Yes, see, like even though my life isn't going as fast as yours, it's getting busier.
Mm.
Um, I have the fashion show tomorrow. No, I'm lying. I have
Mm.
the fashion show Saturday, but we're going down to Orlando tomorrow to do some photo shoots and just escape reality for a little bit, the mundane day to day hustle and bustle. But just I this month I'm actually going to start filming my part for Mob Chicks, and then
Mm.
I'm going to be in a movie called um, Sh- Shadow something. I can't remember. Sorry. To Marquel, what's his name? Marquel, the one that we
Okay.
had the movie, right? So it's Shadow something. Um,
Okay.
but he films it in March. And do you remember the movie Scary Movies, but the funny one? Remember Scary
Hmm.
Movies? The
The one
Wayne
with like
brothers.
the Wayans brothers. Yeah.
Right,
Hmm.
right. So he's making something like that. So it's going to be a funny, scary type thing. And he has me as an officer that is scared of confrontation and scared of conflict and snacks a lot. So it's gonna be really right, exactly. So I gotta figure out like a healthy variation of snacks that I can use because I mean, depending on how many times I'm gonna be on, camera, I'm not trying to eat Cheetos all the time. So
Good
there's
point.
that, and I'm filming the shorts for the short movies for Love Is Our Magic. I'm gonna start
How's that?
that again. We did the first two, and it's amazing. Like the second one, everybody was so just the energy was there. Like it was big energy, like so much energy, and everybody's waiting for the next one. But we have the fashion show this weekend, so I really didn't want to set anything up. I'm going to talk to her because the next one is going to be in a salon. So I'm going to talk to somebody that I know that owns a salon to see if we could film in her salon. So, but then when I was at La Villa Project last Friday, had um, it was like a mini concert, you could say. It was a mini concert slash album release party. Their album debuted that day. When the Devil Is Away is called the Villa Project, uh,
Mm.
and um, they had a bunch of local artists from here in Jacksonville come out and just kick some rhymes. Like they all had like three songs that they could sing. It was a mix. There was women, there was men, it was amazing. He had vendors out there, so I went with my book, but I actually bought a ticket to support. You know, I was gonna go out to support, but then they were like, "Yo, bring your book and vend." So like, you know, I went out there and I vended, but it was amazing. So
That's
I
fun.
seen a guy that I did a casting call for. He was there to support, and he was like, "I haven't told you yet. I haven't sent you the email, but I'm gonna put you in the movie that he cast me for, well, that I went to cast for. So that's coming up in February." He said, "Keep your weekends open in February." So yeah, it's just everything's coming and coming. You know, slowly but surely. Thank you.
That is awesome. Good job. That
Thank
is
you.
great. So you are picking up momentum, and
Yes, definitely.
I'm glad that the book is also picking up momentum and that you are taking it to the next level. So that's great.
All right.
And so with the shorts, are you gonna put those out, or what's the plan for the shorts that you're filming?
So I'm going to once we finish editing the first one, and I'm gonna like do a little reel about it to tease people, just like I did with the behind the scenes.
Hmm.
But what the whole objective is to put it all together into like a kind of trailer pilot type thing, so that way we can market it to some sponsors and see if they'll help us start the series.
Okay.
Once we get close to like the middle, I'm gonna start um, doing a script. Like I'm gonna transform the book into script form, and then make it into a series. So it's gonna be fun.
Okay.
It's definitely gonna be fun. People keep telling me, uh, send it to Tyler Perry, but don't let him take the rights to your. I was like, calm down, calm down.
I agree.
So yeah, I don't know what direction I want to go in as of yet. I'm gonna talk to Yes because he's the one that's the videographer. He's the one that's like he's co-directing because I've never done it before. So
Mhm.
I kind of leaned on him and he was like, "Well, this is your vision, bro. So you have to do what you want to do." So I kind of got into the mode of visualizing what I want. So
Mhm.
the second scene was a lot better than the first one. I'm not saying that the first one wasn't good, but I was a lot more nervous in the first one. I didn't know what I wanted. I did, but then at the same time, like it was the first time. So you know, but the second
Yeah.
time was definitely um, better. So
God. And that's how you learn. I mean, you have to go through those experiences para aprender y saber
yeah,
qué es lo que quiere. And in essence, that's what directing is
right,
you're executing the vision, whether it's your vision or somebody's vision. But these are thought of things that have been pre-planned regarding shots and
right,
different captures. Like I wrote a script called The Judgment back. Was it 20? I started in 2016. I fine tuned it in 2018, and finally in 2020, I was able to execute it into production. And it was a short,
okay,
but I was able to direct it and all that. And because I've been around a lot of sets and just watching how the directors act, interact, what questions are asked, what they say, etc., I was able to pick up on those vibes, took
right,
notes for myself, and said, okay, this is how I want to execute my vision when I do direct the short.
okay,
And so I would just share that same feedback for you and whoever is listening and watching that want to do something similar with regards to directing is learn from where you are currently, especially you being having the opportunity to be on different sets, interacting with different people. Watch and learn. Be that people watcher to see, okay, this person's is the AD or this person's the director or this person's the filmographer, blah blah blah. And then pick up on the vibes. What is it that they're doing? How are they moving? What is it that they're capturing? And ask questions as well. Just say, "Hey, I'm learning. I want to learn more of the language. When you did that shot, what were you thinking?"
right,
Now, when I say that too, also be mindful that know your audience because sometimes a lot of people get so into their world that they may get like it's a place and a time to ask a question. I would say
right,
that. Obviously, if they're working and you're like, "Hey, tapping him on the shoulder," then no, that's not the right time. But when you're taking a quick break, if you're on lunch or what have you, step to that person and say, hey, I saw earlier you took that shot or you directed it this way. What were you thinking? What was the vision? And I'm asking because I want to learn.
Right.
So yeah.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
can't wait. Like I really can't wait. I'm excited.
Yeah, it sounds like it's gonna be awesome. So I'm looking forward to watching what it is that you all execute and put together. Absolutely.
I'm definitely excited. And then like the thing in December, like there's two things in December, and I'm trying to figure out which one I should go to.
Okay.
Yeah. So the it's the concert for Apex Couture magazine. They're having like a mini concert type thing, and then Spectacular Inc. is having their Spectacular Con, but it's on the same day. So, right, I need to figure
And they're
out
two
which
different
one I'm
cities
gonna
too, right?
actually. Huh?
Two different cities.
Yes, one's in North Carolina and one's in Virginia. So can't be in two places at once. So I got to figure out where I'm gonna go. So
Gotcha. Now I'm surprised because both of them are from Florida, if I remember correctly, right?
um, no, Antoine Apex Couture is from Florida. Andre is originally from Virginia. So
Gotcha. Okay.
mhm.
Okay. Because I mean, it's good that they are expanding their reach, especially the one going to North Carolina. You said
Right.
Apex Couture.
Yes, Apex Couture.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's good because that'll allow the opportunity for a different audience to recognize the brand and get acquainted with the brand. So that was
Right.
a smart move there. And it's always good to do that every now and then. Go to different places and plan an event. I mean, yeah, it's gonna cost money, but I mean that's how we grow, right? By
Exactly.
going to different markets and presenting our brand to them.
Right.
So okay, well, I'm sure God's gonna put it in your heart wherever it is that you are meant to be,
Definitely.
and I'm sure it's good, regardless of where it is, it's going to be a great event. Both of them are going to be great events because they're both great brands.
I definitely believe it. So what you got coming up? I know we're supposed to be talking about Halloween, but
Yeah,
this is
well, it's you and I today. It's the host show about
right.
Halloween. That's we dressed up. I did like a little animal print cheetah
I see.
makeup, and then you did the what Count Dracula.
Yes, I even got the jacket.
Okay, okay, yeah. So as for me, I'm working with an amazing group of individuals uh, regarding sex trafficking. It's a
Oh,
production coming up from sex trafficking. I'm one of the leads, and it's called A Mother's Love, and it's amazing. And so I've been focused on that. I'm still doing the Alzheimer's tours right now because of the holidays. We are on a quick break,
okay.
but we're going to revamp up, back up in 2025. I'm definitely focused on expanding the brand for Oyandia TV because I definitely believe in this and making sure that we go to the next level, that we reach different markets, and to continue to grow within what we offer, within educating the community, educating the world,
Hmm.
um, and doing editing and just different things that I have in the back pocket that I've been working on that I need to hone in on.
All right.
Going back, I have like I would say two or three scripts that I started writing
Oh,
a few years ago, and then I paused there because obviously I had a child and
all
all these other things happened. Good things. So I'm like, during the holiday season, finding time to focus on that a little bit and finish writing, um, focusing on expanding the brand for Divine Beauty and Accessories, collective wear. So there's just
hmm
a lot of other things that I want to focus on
all right.
expanding and doing the marketing and promotion and just making sure that people know what all these brands are.
All right.
So yeah,
That's awesome. Yes, I definitely love Divine Eyes. Like these contacts are pretty cool. They're not drying my eyes out, and they were easy to put in. Like there's no left and right. I mean, of course, when I put it away, I'm gonna have to put it in left and right. But I like, I definitely like it. Like I remember one time I was young, so don't judge me. I wanted, I wanted color contacts, right? But I didn't really need glasses, so I went to an optometrist.
Okay.
Optometrist is for eyes, right? Yeah, right.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah.
You're
I
right.
was trying to make sure.
Mhm. And then
So
ophthalmologist is if you have an eye condition where the
okay,
ophthalmologist is a specialist that need to see you. Mhm.
right. So I went there and I got the eye exam, and I was telling them, um, I wanted color contacts. So of course, they charged me for the eye exam, which I really didn't need because I was I was getting non-prescription color contacts. He charged
Interesting.
me $200 for the contacts. Right.
Yeah.
I was young.
Ay,
Hey,
Dios mío. Yo de pendejo el pobre.
look. Later on in life, I look back and I'm like, why did you spend $200 on contacts that don't have prescription in them?
Aprendiste la lección. It's
Yeah,
okay. But you have to go through that. I
they
mean,
see me coming.
I've done things in my life. Don't feel bad.
Look, they see me coming. They said, "Look, this guy's coming. He wants. We're gonna charge him for something." It was crazy. Like it was wild. My mom, when I told her, she was like, "Get that basadi. You got something wrong with your mind? Like what is wrong with you?"
Eso, ¿qué estás pensando tú?
But I mean, it was my money, so she couldn't really say much. But like she was trying to, it's too much money for contacts like that don't have prescription.
Right.
I didn't care. I wanted color contacts, and then they didn't even look right on my. You know what I'm saying? Like I could still see my color eye through them. Right. Exactly.
Interesting. Wow, that's
Right.
different. Okay.
Right.
Well, I'm glad you shared that story because with Divine Eyes, you
Right.
don't have that problem.
I
They're
see.
not $2.
I definitely see.
They range between $20 to $25 or even
Right.
$30 depending on the color.
Right.
And then we periodically offer discounts. And Mandy actually has a brand ambassador code that he will be more than happy to share with the audience and listeners so that you all can use his brand ambassador code when ordering. And they are available at yessirodriguez.com/shop.
Right.
So now think about this. With color contacts, doesn't necessarily have to be a Halloween or
Right.
anything. If you're a model and you want to change up your look because you're tired of looking the same in all the pictures,
Exactly.
go
Exactly.
on my website. There's different colors available. And even if you don't see a color, reach out to me, send me a message and say, hey, Yessie, I'm looking for XYZ color. Do you have it? More than likely I do. I just haven't had the opportunity to update inventory because I have a book load of them in my roster. And they last a whole year.
Oh, okay. Good.
So
Because
if
I'm
you're
gonna be
available,
wearing
they're good for a whole year. Mhm.
right. I'm gonna be wearing these vampire ones more than once. I'm
Yeah,
definitely gonna do a photo
not
shoot.
one and done. You wear those
Yeah.
for a whole year, good for a whole year. As long as you take care of them, they'll take care of
Right.
you. Make sure to
Okay.
keep them in the solution and
Right.
make sure to keep your eyes hydrated. And what I
Right.
do, because I suffer from sensitive eyes, I keep different like what is it? Pataday eye drops for allergies. I keep them
Mhm.
there in in my purse, so that way if I need to, I just put a couple drops on,
Mhm.
and I'm good. So it's even good for people with sensitive eyes, and I'm confirming that because I have sensitive eyes. And
Right.
I've done that since I moved to North Carolina. Unfortunately, it's just what
It's
they
the
let me
allergies. Yeah. Exactly. It's the area. Just the. Yeah. I can get it. I understand. I definitely understand.
So yeah, I mean there you have it. Divine Eyes Colored Contacts available at yessierodriguez.com/shop. Get yours today.
Exactly. I can't remember my promo code, but I would give it to y'all. I just can't remember it at the moment.
Manny, now
I can't remember. I got so much going on right now. Like, and then my job, my day job. I still have a day job, so
no, so it's okay. It's all good.
yeah.
Hey, you hustling every day. I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Hey, so I did some research about Halloween because in the
Right.
spirit of Halloween, right? I was like,
This
oh, what is the
means
history of a
right.
Halloween costume? And some
The
people may know
costume itself or Halloween in a whole? What do you?
both.
Okay.
Both. Yeah. So let's start with the actual why costumes. Let's start
Hmm.
with that. Why costume? Because I noticed it's like okay, it's October 31st. People dress up, pero porque like we can dress up any other time, no?
Hmm.
I mean, you do it, right? So apparently, this is this started back in the early 20th century. And so I went under childrenstheater.org and just to
Hmm.
do some research. In the early 20th century, costumes weren't geared towards current events or characters like they are today,
Hmm.
but they were geared towards being spooky themes that were still in the vein of scaring off ghosts and spirits. So in essence, when you te ponen la disfrace or te
Hmm.
viste, you're scaring off ghosts and spirits.
All right. All right.
That's interesting. And so during this time, back in the 20th century, teens and youth donned disguises to hide their identities as they committed tricks and pranks, thus trick or treat,
Hmm.
to such violent and problematic extent that it became problematic and cities considered banning the holiday.
Right.
That's
I read
crazy.
that. I definitely read that. Hmm.
Wow.
But I
And
mean, like, go ahead. What you say?
no, no, go ahead. Yeah, yeah, I'm listening.
No, I was just going to say that the holidays stem from religion. You know, um, it started with pagan religion, and you know it just got so manipulated by people, and then the church manipulated it to try to um, manipulate people, you know, and try to
Mhm.
benefit from the actual holiday. But it's really just um, like it's part of a harvest, if I'm not mistaken. I read something about that. Let me see. They consider beginning of winter. Yeah, the date was considered the beginning of the winter period,
Yep,
the day which
exactly.
the herds were returned from pasture and the land tenures were renewed. And they had a festival where the souls of who had died were believed to return to visit their homes. And that's why they dressed up to try to get rid of these, ghosts and people that were trying to return.
Hmm.
So,
Yep,
but then,
and that information that you're sharing, we read from today.com.
right. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel, to be honest with you, I feel like this is the candy makers like really boosted this holiday because those are the days. Well, this is the day that they make most of their money because they're selling bags of candy, and people aren't just buying one; they'll buy a couple bags, especially if they decorate and um, give out candy and stuff like that, and participate in the holiday. But
Mm-hmm.
it was, it's just I hate that it got watered down to the point. It got watered down to the point where churches are doing trunk or treat and giving out candy. Like,
Right.
make that make sense to me. Make that make sense.
You know what? And that's a good point, and I'm trying to make sense of it. I mean, the only logical thing I can think of is because in years past, and I remember growing up, there was a lot of gente mala
Right,
that would either like mess it up for the others, where they would either like poison the candies or
right. I remember
something
that.
happened. And so the only logical thing I can think of as to why a church would decide to participate is to keep it safe and clean. So that way the parent is there with the child and you're trusting these individuals. Not saying that everybody is, even in the church setting, is going to be saint and holy, because that's not the case at all.
Right.
But that's the only logical thing I can think of. I mean, we'll see.
I mean, I get it, but like Lecia, they're supposed to be
Okay.
like not. There's I don't want to say they're against, but this holiday is based around evil, the devil. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the way that society portrayed it, and that's the way that it got pushed towards.
Right.
So why would you glorify this holiday by giving out candy? You know what I'm saying? Like if if you are a true church, which I don't go to church. I don't believe in organized religion.
Mhm.
But if you were to, if you're an actual church and you have beliefs that stem from a Bible, or that a God, why would you, regardless of the kids and the candy and this, that, and the third, you're supposed to be trying to influence your followers not to believe in this thing. So it goes to like, well, we're gonna do it to, like you said, stop the make sure that the kids get good candy, and now you're justifying.
Right.
I don't understand why you're trying to justify this holiday and the meaning behind it. You know what I'm saying? Like before, when it first started, it was like I said, the beginning of winter. It was a ritual, but then they commercialized it and made it, oh, I'm gonna give out candy, I'm gonna dress up. They made it a holiday, and now you're justifying the fact that it's okay, and they don't dress up. I'm not going to say that they dress up, but you're justifying the fact that you're giving out candy to the children and essentially taking part of a holiday that is against that, religious comments. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't understand. I
No,
don't.
and I see your point. I see your point. And to a person that is listening, that's considered an hypocrite. I
Right.
mean, hypocrite, right? It's like, okay, you're practicing one thing or saying one thing, but then you're doing another.
Exactly. Just like people that go to church and smoke, hypocrita.
Hypocrite, yeah.
Or people that go to church and with their wife and then leave their wife at home and go mess with their side chick, or vice
Hypocrite.
versa. You know what I'm saying? Like, make I understand that you want to, clean your sins, but don't do the stuff that you're doing, and you won't have to clean your sins.
Right, right.
It's
And it's
just
one of those, and I'm glad you brought that up because it's like, I want to understand or I'm trying to understand as you get older, like when you're a kid and you're growing up and you have your mother, father, grandparents, adults showing you, helping you understand what's right from wrong. And as you get older, you understand right from wrong, or
right,
hopefully you understand right from wrong.
right,
And then, but it comes to a point where it's like, okay, you're approaching a part in your life because you're mentioning the individual that's going to church or doing this or what have you, and then they have the wife at home and they're messing with somebody else.
hmm,
And it's like, aren't you grown enough already to know, like, first what you
right,
want? You should know what you want. And
right.
two, like, why? Or, por qué? Like,
I agree with you.
logically, to me, it makes no sense because it's like if you're a grown person,
Hmm.
then you should have, man or woman, should have the cojones para decir, hey, this ain't working out for me. Let's walk. Because not only are you being unfair to yourself, you're being unfair to the other individual, and then the other individual that you're messing with because you may be leading them on with false pretenses.
Hmm.
And that's how all this revolú empieza, because for no reason, because of kiddish, childish acts when you're
Right.
supposed to be grown. Like, come on.
Hmm. I definitely agree. I definitely agree. And I just the reason why the one of the reasons why I don't believe in organized religion is it's a lot of churches make it difficult for you to actually get to the root of the meaning of being a part of um, a church, Christian or Catholic or whatever. It's a lot of churches that I attended were more fashion shows, and if you ask questions, they didn't want you to ask questions. Like they didn't want you to question them. Um, then you got the Catholics with the what they the Catholic fathers that been
Yeah.
in the headlines. We know what's been going on there, and that they're covering up. And it's just I just don't understand like why. Part of me is like why do we have to have different denominations? Like everybody's trying to attain the same thing, which is spiritual oneness with God. Why do I have to be Pentecost or Baptist or Christian or Catholic to do that? Why can't we just do it all? And the pagans used to do that. Like they were one with nature, and they loved everybody. But when people that were different from them came around, they called them witches, and because they um, used herbs instead of modern medicine, or lived off the land instead of buying stuff from the supermarket or whatever. And they just felt like they had superpowers and they were witches or something. I don't get it.
Wow.
Right.
That's interesting, Manny, that you shared
Yeah.
that.
But did you read Nita Blake's comment? Her grandmother. That is awesome. She
Read.
upheld her spirituality and her oneness with God, and didn't. Right, that one. My grandmother's house was on the corner. Every year, she used to have a sheet on the door, and it said, This house is covered in the blood of Jesus." And that's what you're supposed to do. I mean, that might be a
Right.
little extreme, but like, not participate, and she held on to her beliefs, and I applaud her for that. Even though you felt embarrassed, Miss Blake, I applaud your grandmother because she
Yeah,
held on to her beliefs. If you're
absolutely.
gonna believe in something, then believe in it. Don't just, oh well, I believe in this, but this is okay too. You know,
Yeah, I know. And that's another thing that I was thinking about the other day too. I'm like, I was thinking a lot of people, whether it be the Bible or things that books and information that are considered factual or based on facts,
right,
and especially the Bible, I was thinking one that has been translated in so many languages and translated in so many ways that how do I know what I'm reading is actually factual
right,
or still applicable? Because I can tell you one thing. I can say, "Hey, the sky is green," and then somebody else can translate it and say, "Oh, the sky is blue," and then
right,
somebody else can translate it and say, "The sky is red." Well, what color was the sky? We don't
right,
know because we weren't there. We're just going off of somebody's quote unquote facts.
right,
And
exactly,
even in today's society, when we watch different things, when we look at the videos, everything that's happening with the whole election thing, I want people to really be careful. One, what you're watching, because although people say it might be true, just really trust your gut to know what's true and
right,
what's not. Use discernment, because nowadays people are just trying to do whatever it is just to get clout and get viewers and followers, and they feed you a bunch of BS and shenanigans. And
right,
then if you're one of those that believe it, just please don't fall victim to the BS and shenanigans. Just be very, very careful.
exactly. I
My
just
word to you. Uh,
like my take on politics. Like, I don't feel like, and I might be old school ish, but like, I just feel like we should be able to govern ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And I understand, um, growth and development and betterment for the future, and things have been invented, and stuff like that. But like, just the government has taken control of everything, and like, they control how people think, you know and how people move and how people act. And no
mhm.
matter the scandals that they have, people still you know depend on them. Like, it's, we can govern ourselves. Like, I know how to manage money. I mean, granted, if the government wasn't here, we wouldn't have, the treasury and money and stuff like that. But why can't we go back to, barter system? You know what I'm saying? You have a pair of shoes that I like, I could make you something. I get the shoes, you get what you need. Like, that's it might be old school, but I just, the money that they spend on the campaign and advertising that we are putting into their pockets, the
Yeah.
taxpayers,
Mhm.
and it's astounding. Like, the other day, I got like four different flyers in my mailbox from just people, politicians, and it's just, I don't get it. Like, I get text messages almost every day now. You know, you can't watch anything, even though I don't watch TV for real, but you can't watch anything on the TV without hearing about Camilla or Donald Trump. And that's another thing. Like, I don't really talk about politics, but yo, the guy has felonies. You know, he's still going to court, and you're still letting him, run the country. Like, I don't get that. You know, but that's just my take on it. I don't like politics. I don't like the government at all, for real. To be honest with you, I wish we could go back to hunting deers and just living off the land and stuff. But
No, different
I
things.
still need my iPhone, even though I'm gonna hunt deers and stuff. I still need my iPhone.
You're funny. But you know what? You make really, really good points, and I'm glad you brought that up, especially the whole flyers thing. And no lie, like this week I got two text messages
Right.
that were bribing me saying, we'll pay you $400 if you vote for X, Y, and Z. Why are
Mhm.
you bribing me? What, why? It should be my choice for whoever it is that I want to vote for.
Right.
Like, why are you sending, like, it's horrible. And I'm looking at it now. You were mentioning the campaign funds,
Mhm.
and I'm looking. USAFacts.org states between January 2023 through April of 2024, U.S. Political campaigns collected around $8.6 billion for the 2024 House, Senate, and presidential elections. Over 65% of that money, about 5.6 billion, came from the Political Action Committee.
Right. But where did that money come from? That came from the taxpayers. All that money is coming from taxpayers. And it's like all that money you have for taxpayers, and there's still homelessness and there's still people starving. Like the homeless epidemic here in Jacksonville is crazy. But you want me to vote for you? Like there's still people on the street that don't have homes, that don't have anything. Food. Like when I did that feeding the homeless with beauties from within, like it really opened my eyes and to I kind of put myself in their place. Like they don't have anything, so it's like they're just hanging out, letting the days go by. And I mean, I understand some of them might be should just get up and do something with their lives, but if society continues to push them and continues to push them away, what hope do they have for themselves? You know, and you have all that money you're spending. You sent me four pamphlets that probably cost close to $100 a piece. You could have fed some people with that, but you want me to vote for you. I don't get it. That's why I don't like the government, to be honest with you, because they you they do these campaigns, and they want you to vote for them, and they feed you a bunch of lies, and then by the time they get elected, half of the stuff that they said they were going to do, they never do. You know, so
Yep.
I don't understand. I don't. But this is the world that we live in. So I I eventually want to get to a point where I could leave the U.S. and go live somewhere else, because some places are better than here. Like I heard Canada has free healthcare. Like, and their streets are a lot cleaner. But you know it is what
I
it is.
will say I heard that too, but when I did my research, that you have to pay more taxes, obviously, which means that, for example, it's like a trade-off. So right now we're paying here we pay what, like 40% tax. In Canada, you, if I remember correctly, was like 50 or 60% tax to offset what is offered as free, because money needs to come from somewhere, which means you'll have a lesser paycheck. But I mean, I guess if healthcare is going to be free and other things are going to be free, it kind of offsets and helps you. So logically, numerically it makes sense. But yes,
All right. Okay. I
and
didn't know that, but I get it.
yeah, it's a higher tax bracket. And similar to France, I hear that France, a few years ago, I heard that they offered free healthcare. I'm not sure if it's still applicable, which I assume it is. But all it is just a higher tax bracket that's being taxed to the residents of whoever lives there. But again, it makes sense because money needs to come from somewhere to pay healthcare providers, facilities, lights,
Right.
etc. Everything, equipment that needs to be used, sterilization, what have you. So, um, and for the person that's watching and listening, we're trying to help and educate you because we want to make sure that you are well equipped. Things are changing. And you may already know this, which is great. But I guarantee you that there's a good amount of people that don't know a lot of the information that we're sharing.
Right.
Thus, the reason why here at OENDA TV, the goal is to inspire, enlighten, educate, entertain, and make sure that you're well equipped for life in general, because life be life and it'll be tough.
Life definitely be life, I swear. Like it's the um like what's it called? Cost of living is definitely not enough from what you get paid. Like you have to have two jobs just to make it some days, and even two jobs isn't enough. Like don't have time to do anything when you have two jobs. It's like
Right.
you're forced to live with somebody so that way you can make ends meet. And then if you don't really like that person, you have to live with them. You know, sometimes that's how it is. Like people don't like each other. My parents stayed together for a good amount of years because of us, the kids, and they wanted to make sure that we had everything that we needed, and they knew that they weren't going to be able to make it alone because they didn't finish school, um, because of the times back then, and they knew they weren't going to get a decent job that paid good because they didn't have the education, you know. So they stayed together for years to the point where they didn't even talk to each other. My mom didn't, my father died on his by himself, and my mom didn't say anything. She wasn't able to talk to him before he passed away. I thankfully I got to talk to him like a week before he passed away. He texted me and told me to call him, and I called him. So, but it's a lot difficult now, more difficult than it was back then. It's just crazy.
That's really interesting that you bring that up, Manny, because I hear that quite often, that individuals stay together in situations where they feel unhappy or
Right.
not fully meshing, the way that they thought it would. And so it makes me think, like, and even in your example, where was la familia, las amistades, other people that because I can't fathom that they were the only ones dealing with that. I'm sure maybe there were other people that they may have known, but they made that choice to stay together and to be unhappy. Like that's tough.
It was definitely there was definitely a lot of tension. Now that I look back, it was definitely a lot of tension when I was a kid. Um, and it made my mom scared to date anybody because of the situation, and because of the situation that's going on now. Like everybody's either on drugs, drunk, or abusive, mentally, physically, and otherwise. And it's difficult to find somebody that you can cohabitate with and be happy. I'm not saying it's difficult and it's not attainable, but um, people are crazy. Like people are crazy these days. Like it's like that mental health stuff is serious. But then that also goes back to the steroids that they're putting in our food that alters our, genetics and mental and all that stuff. That's for another show, though.
Right, I agree.
It's just a
Because
lot going on. Yeah, definitely right. It's definitely tough being an adult, man. I swear. I wish I could go back to being a kid, but we were poor, so it's like I don't want to go back to that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah.
being an adult is tough, and I'm glad you shared the whole mental health thing. I remember talking to my mom the other day. Actually, this was over the summer that we had this conversation, and she was sharing with me, and I actually looked it up too.
Hmm.
There was this young, beautiful African American girl in Milwaukee. She was trying to get in the dating scene,
Okay.
and she met a Caucasian man. And I think they met through social media or something. I forgot where they met, but they went on a date. And from what the news was saying, and based on what they got from other people, everything seemed like it was going good. But then she ended up coming up missing.
Oh wow.
And so what happened is, after a while being missing, her body parts started showing up.
Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Right,
I
right.
watched a thing on Netflix one time. It was called The Worst Boyfriends, and it was terrible. Like I don't understand. Was it just boyfriends? No, it was terrible. I think it was terrible something. I think it was Netflix. But there was these people are just bipolar as hell. Like this guy, he was dating this girl, and he just went off. She did something he didn't like. He just went off and started beating on her, this black lady, and then she finally got away from him, and he started dating another chick, and he kidnapped her, held her hostage in her house, cut her hair off, and made her sleep next to him naked while he held a gun to her head. Then she finally got away, and he met this other girl that he almost beat to death, and that's when they finally caught up to him. Like it's wild out here, man. Like, and then they act sweet and innocent when you first meet them. That's why I think I'm gonna stay single for the rest of my life.
Well, I would say this, and this is my recommendation and feedback for anybody dating or getting to know people, what have you, is once you get to the point where you feel like it's getting serious and this may be a person that you can spend, the rest of your life with, or you want to take it to the next level. I don't see nothing wrong with asking those types of questions like, hey, let's go together to one, get STD checked, two, mental health check.
All right.
Together, I mean, you need to know me and I need to know you, right? Like that's just how it works because you want to make sure that I'm not crazy and I got to make sure that you ain't crazy.
Right.
So I don't see nothing wrong with whomever that's getting to the point in their relationship or whatever it is that you're into
Mm-hmm.
to ask those questions because as an adult, those are some of the right questions that need to be asked. It's not about the looks, it's not about how much money they have, what have you, but it's about what's going on. Mental health is real, and it can have long term effects if you do decide to be with a person and later on find out that they are dealing with some sort of mental health. How are you going to deal with that?
Right.
And if you have children, that does affect children and it affects the whole dynamics of the family. So there's long-term repercussions that can come with not asking the right questions beforehand.
Exactly.
Now, let's say if you do ask those right questions and the person ends up with some form of mental health, it is up to you to decide at that point, can I deal with XYZ, whatever it is that they may have been diagnosed with? But these are things that you as an individual need to evaluate for yourself. And then think about if the shoe was on the other foot, if that were me, how would I feel if that were me diagnosed with whatever? You know what I'm saying? So show them grace because shit happens, right? I mean, this
Right.
is how people are.
Yeah.
So that's just my 2 cents on that.
Right. And I agree. I definitely agree. Those questions should be asked. But at the same time, we're living in a society where people hide behind fake personas and fake personalities. So you could ask those questions, but there's still people out there that might lie to you and say, "Yeah, oh yeah, I'm fine. I don't have mental issues." That's when you actually have to pay attention to their physical and the way that they act because um, a lot of times they have tells if they have mental health issues or if they have just if they're bipolar or something like that. But you have to be able to know and tell what those tells are, and you just pay attention to what they're doing, and watch them. Not like weird or anything weird watching, just watch their mannerisms and stuff, you know, because there are
But
some
I'm
guys.
talking about taking it to the next level. I'm talking about you and that person going to the doctor together and seeing each other's paperwork, so that way nobody can lie and do nothing. You can't lie to me, and I can't lie to you because the facts is right there and in you know.
But I mean, the society is so dictated over on what's on social media now.
Right.
Um, and they have, like we talked about before, people don't see the behind the scenes on what goes on in entertainment, in the entertainment industry. They just see what is put out there because that's what people want to see.
Right.
um, Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, um, doing whatever you want to do, not having a job, just going taking trips whenever you want. That's not the case. Like when that person took that trip, they had to sacrifice and work for it, to be able to take that trip. but it's just, people don't care what they're doing. There's a lot more women now that are just having sex with multiple different guys because they feel like guys have been doing this for so long. And I get their thought process, but at the same time, they catch something, but then they don't tell you, you know, and then you catch it. And vice versa. I'm not going to say that it's the women, but the guys are doing the same thing. That a lot of some of them are even promoting it on social media. Like I seen a post one time that this guy was saying that he had a STD and he wasn't going to tell nobody about it. Yeah. So it's difficult out there these days, like real difficult to be able to date somebody. And, you know, if you get into that heat of the moment, especially with both sides, get in the heat of the moment. Oh, let's, be safe. The guy might get an attitude and want to, be abusive, or the girl gets an attitude and, oh, you don't trust me, and, this, that, and the third. And then she kind of breaks you down to a point where you don't want to use it. It's scary out here.
Yeah, no, I
It's
feel
definitely.
you. And I'm going to use our viewers because Ra and Nita have been
Yeah.
commenting. So Ra made a comment. He said that women don't have as many options as they think they do. So Manny and then Nita, if you can comment, do you agree or disagree?
Um, as far as what, like options as far as dating, like what kind of options are we talking about here?
Yeah, I think he means like with regards to like finding a good person that they can settle down
Yes.
with.
I agree with him. There are definitely not a lot of options for women out here because guys are dogs. Like I was a dog when I was younger. Um, but guys are dogs. Um, then the epidemic of homosexuality. I'm not against it. You do what you want to do, but that takes a lot of gentlemen off the table that
Right.
could have been a potential mate for a woman. Um, so there definitely is not a lot of options, and it's starting to become not a lot of options for men because a lot of women are starting to date women now because they feel like um, guys don't treat them right. But then the butch girls they try to act so much like men. It's like you're dating you're dating a man that doesn't isn't really a man. You know what I'm saying? They're still abusive and they're mentally abusive. They take advantage of you, and they're women though. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we all don't have options. You're lucky to
Men
have
and women
somebody
don't have
already.
options.
There's
So
definitely
what
not
you
a
saying is men and women don't have options.
not many. No,
Yeah.
not many real options. Uh, like what I just mentioned, the epidemics and the fact that guys have ulterior motives, but then the actual real guys and the real women that are, would enjoy to be in a relationship, they're successful, and they were successful because they focused on their careers and
Hmm.
not being in a relationship, and that's what their norm is. So to be in a relationship, you have to move like that person. And if you
Right.
don't move like that person, they're not going to want you in their life because you're going to slow them down. They're not going to go backwards. They're going to want somebody that um, could move like them and has the same mentality as them. So they rather stay single and build their money and their lifestyle than be with somebody that's going to mooch off of them or what have you. You know, so there's really
Hmm.
not a lot of options across the board, to be honest with you.
Yeah. No, I feel you, men and women. I mean, yeah, it's tough, like you just shared. Um, hey, it's yeah. And so I would blame it on our brainwashed society.
Hmm.
And I would blame it on again people saying that they're grown, but they really aren't grown because your actions, if you're still playing around and cheating and doing this and that, your
Hmm.
actions are telling me that you're not grown
All
at
right.
all. Your prerogative, and it's you're not focused on the right thing. When
All
you
right.
grow, you focus on other things. You focus on family, on money, on elevation.
Exactly.
on making sure that spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally you're in tune with higher powers, God, etc. But if you're still out here ripping and running and trying to talk to Peter and Susie and this and that and that, living double lives, no, you're not grown. Sorry, you need to grow up.
Exactly. I agree.
Crecer y crecer con los cojones. Y es tiempo. No, come on now. You're not a chamaquito anymore. You got to grow up.
Exactly. You have to hold it down. But I agree with Rob made a comment. He said most go for their preference instead of their standards, and that I agree with that. Like a lot of people prefer to be with somebody or feel like they can change a person, and instead of seeing the red flags and keeping their standards high, they go to oh, he's a good person, but he hits me sometimes, or she mentally abuses me sometimes, but she's still a good person. And that's not a good thing. That mentally for that person, it's definitely not a good thing.
Right, and especially if there's children involved, because now they're seeing this, and now you are projecting to them like, hey, it's okay to be domestically violated.
Exactly, and the cycle never breaks. All right, the cycle never it keeps going, and it's sad. It's definitely sad. Definitely sad.
We're talking about some real stuff here, man. This show is because
on Halloween, no candy. No, none of us have candy. I have a fashion show tomorrow, so I can't really eat candy because I'm slimming down.
Okay.
Yeah, I know Yessie doesn't have any candy in her house because her son probably ate it all already.
I'm sorry, my computer was like breaking out. Can you repeat that for me? I didn't hear you.
No, I said you probably don't have any candy at your house because your son probably ate it all already.
You know what? I am actually the candy junkie. Believe it or not, I love candy.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have expected that.
But I have preferences. Like I appreciate the Hershey's Kisses with almonds in it.
Okay.
And then I appreciate the sour Skittles. Those are like my two favorites. And then every now and then you get a craving. Like back in the day, we used to have the little Tootsie flavored candies, or the fruities, or the when you used to go to the penny candy store. I don't know if where you grew up, they had a penny candy store. They used to have little penny candies.
Of course.
Every now and then I would just go on Amazon and just order a bag of those because I just get a taste for like, oh, let me taste the candy back in the day when I was growing up.
Yeah. Our penny candy store used to sell pretzels, pizza pretzels, cheese pretzels. Yeah, all types of things.
They need to bring that up. They need to bring that.
Yeah, I haven't seen a penny candy store in forever.
Yeah, so much has changed. It's so sad. And now all we see is muchos niños in the tablets and laptops and phones. Exactly. It's like, what happened to going outside, stretching your legs, getting some vitamin D? Vete para el parque. Vete para la esquinita que venden los popsicles de Limber. Things like that. The Limber?
Yeah. He used to be the Limber man for the block.
That's so we'd get to the house.
He'd get mad because we'd eat like 2 of them, 2 or 3 of them while we were there. He was like, yo, I'm trying to make money. Little shit.
I know, right? Oh, that's so dope.
As you know now, though, those almond Hershey Kisses, that's a bougie candy. I'm gonna let you know that now. I see your bouginess now. I see it's coming out.
You know what it is? It's not about being bougie. It's about having quality standards. Yes.
Oh, that's the excuse you use. I get it though.
When you know what you want and you want what you want, you just do what you want. I have quality. It's about having standards. That's my quality standard. I mean,
I like the Hershey with almonds too. I like those too.
So means you bougie too, baby.
All the way bougie. I'm definitely all the way bougie.
That's right. You did say in a different episode that you were high maintenance. I remember you saying
that. Like a motherfucker. That's why I can't be with nobody, because it's like they don't understand me. They're like, why are you this way? Like, you take longer to get ready than I do. I have to be. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, they start like 2 hours ahead, 3 hours.
exactly, exactly.
But hey, you know yourself. So that's dope. I respect that. You know who you are. A lot of people no saben quién son.
Right, exactly.
This is dope. But we had another
Yes,
amazing episode.
yes.
We're going to close the shop and
Definitely
do the
amazing.
last minute words.
Definitely
Manny,
an amazing Halloween episode. We talked about a little bit about Halloween, but we definitely talked about some topics that we really haven't talked about before,
hmm
and I appreciated this because I'm not really a political person, but um, just being able to um, give my opinion without
hmm
having backlash from anybody was awesome. Yeah. So my final words, as always, never let the fear of failure overcome the righteousness of success. Look at me and Yessie, like we've gone through hell and high water and back again, and we've learned to move in a different way because we know that there's always going to be a stumbling block, a hurdle, or a pitfall in the journey that we call this life. We learn how to recognize it, acknowledge it, and move forward, and try to figure out the best way to move forward without losing everything that we've gained. So, if you're just starting or if you're in the middle of, your journey, and you feel like you can't do it or you're going to give up because you, you know, hit a wall, don't give up. Find a way around that wall, and keep moving, you know. You could find me on IG, Facebook, authormannymorales.com, my model page, Manny Morales 1824, my custom um, accessories page, if you want to call it, Bobby Chulo Creations. This was definitely an amazing Halloween episode.
Wepa.
Yes. What about you, Yessie? What's your final thoughts?
Yeah, so I agree with you. Another amazing episode of Hoy en Día TV. Gracias por su apoyo, por lo que están viendo nosotros, the comments. Thank you all, and just for listening to us. I mean,
Yeah.
hey, our goal is to positively motivate, educate, inspire, enlighten, and entertain you with every episode, and we really hope that we did that today. Now,
Right.
with regard to the political view, we're not trying to persuade anybody to vote left or
Right.
right, but what we are trying to do is just provide you that food for thought about things to think about.
Mm-hmm.
You
Right.
know, these individuals are saying that they're going to do XYZ, but where have we seen the XYZ taking place?
Right.
All this hundreds of millions and billions of dollars that I mentioned earlier. And again, you can go, this is information that's available to the public. You can just go on Google and Internet Explorer, what have you, and find this information for yourself. So it's not like I'm just making up these numbers. But this is information that we want you to know to think in your head like, wow, they spent all this money on the propaganda and marketing, this and that. But what about the victims of Helene? What about the homeless people? What about
Right.
the victims that were affected by blah, blah, blah? Our whole country is in need of so many different things. What
Exactly.
about those different things? Why are we spending all this money on marketing and promotion when we can just turn on the TV and we can see it? But yet we're
Mhm.
getting text messages about being bribed to vote a certain way, getting mails and propagandas and spending all this money. That money can be used for people who really, really need it. I don't need to see another flyer that I'm just going to throw away in the garbage. That's a waste of money.
That's exactly what I did. Threw them away.
Right.
Wasted money.
Olvida de dinero. Tienen que pensar. So this is what we want you to think. Food for thought. These are the people that we want to vote in office.
Right. Right.
I mean, come on now. It doesn't take a rocket science to know that answer. But hey, who am I, right? But
Mm-hmm.
thank you all again. You can find me on Google, type in Yessie Rodriguez. You'll find my Instagram, Facebook, website. Um, find any, just search for me
Everything.
here on India TV.
Right. You
I
find
mean,
everything.
right, right. And We are here Thursdays, 7:30 p.m., Sundays, 7:30 p.m., Thursdays and Sundays. And if you have a great topic that you want to talk about, you just want to chop it up with me and Manny, you want to promote your business, come on. We are here, Hoy en Dia TV. Now, this is a win-win for you and for us and for you, and this is why. We don't charge you all to get in, but you're helping us with creating content, and we're helping you promoting you and your marketing and business.
Exactly.
And you are seen on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. You're listened to on Deezer, on Spotify, Samsung Music, Amazon Music, and then we have other platforms coming up, and this is worldwide.
Too many. Too many.
Right.
Amazing.
And those are only, there's like a few. When I went the other day on the site, there was others that were added. And I'm like, hey, we're
Really?
right.
Hey, listen to us. Because I be getting notifications from Amazon Music because I started following us. And I'll get notifications. Yeah. So it's working. You just got to listen to us.
Yeah. Y también somos bilingües. O si quieres hablar español, aquí hablamos español también. So estamos aquí.
Vamos a tener que hacer
un show en español.
Español completo.
Sí. Yeah. Yo digo que sí. Vamos a ver. ¿Quién conseguimos? A ver. But yes, so thank you all for following us, for being here for us, for listening to us, and we really appreciate your support. And just remember that the sky is never the limit because the galaxies, they are endless. Thanks for tuning in. Hasta pronto, mi gente.